because less than 3% of you people read books. Listen to me. Television is not the truth. Television is a goddamn amusement park. Television is a circus, a carnival, a traveling troupe of acrobats, storytellers, dancers, singers, jugglers, sideshow freaks, lion tamers, and football players. We'll tell you anything you want to hear. We lie like hell. We'll tell you any shit you want to hear. We deal in illusions, man. None of it is true. You're beginning to believe the illusions. This is mass madness, you maniac. In God's name, you people are the real thing. We are the illusion.
Good evening, everyone. This is IdiotBox Television, same place, same time, episode 186. Yeah, we doing another open conversation. I'm DJ Drumtastic.
Troy Everett. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in tonight. Make sure you like and share and all that good stuff that we always ask you. Some of you guys do, some of y'all don't. But it would be nice if you would.
We ain't begging or nothing. We just asking.
It helps us just a little bit.
And buy some merchandise too. You know what I'm saying? I got on the old stuff, but it's still merchandise.
Yeah, I got the new black camo on.
I need to order me some more stuff. I need the me versus me. I need to get that. I really do need that. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do that in the next couple of days. So who we got out there? Let me share it and do all that good stuff while we sitting here seeing who out there and waiting around. This is share time. Let me see who I'm gonna share it to.
Yeah, we got a lot of news out there, man. We got a new pope from America. Do you guys really give a shit?
No.
I mean, I just pissed off what? 15 million people, 150 million people who are Catholics. They're like, oh, no, we don't care. Not really.
No, we don't care. Look, and it's on the front of CNN News. As soon as you pull it up, I was like, I didn't even look at it. Talking about a new pope. Watch, pull it up. CNN, right in the middle.
Leo, elected the first American pope.
Who cares?
Yeah, 10 things to know about Robert Provost.
Hey, Janine Christy Brown, how you doing?
Hey, how y'all doing?
Thanks for joining in. You off tonight? Christy be doing some of everything. She got cheerleaders. She cheerleading coach. She all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, she's gonna have like 18 jobs working for the educational department. Ain't they cutting everything in the educational department?
I guess you're right.
Yeah, she's gonna have to get some side hustles. But 10 things we didn't know about the new pope. He was the last American. He was the least American.
Your mic is doing something crazy. It's like really? It's not plugged all the way in. It's got a.
How about
there you go.
All right. He was the least American of the American cardinals, number one. Number two, he was well regarded by Pope Francis, who was the last pope, who we really didn't care about anyways either. But somebody out there, this means something to somebody. He's a member of the Augustinian order. Who knows? Don't care. He has strong leadership experience. Hey, great. Who cares? He has a missionary focus. That's good. Missionary is good. Go out and help people. Missionary is good. Unless you're like what happened, in Africa when the missionaries went out there and gave them the Bible and stole their land, gold, and all precious metals. Unless he's trying to do that, that might be bad. But maybe he's not. Let's see. His name reflects commitment to the poor. So the name that he chose in Leo, what is it, Leo? He chose a name, so you got to change it. You got to change your name when you become the Pope. Probably so you could exercise all the previous sins on the last name. But let me stop, because that's not cool. That's not cool, drummer. You're not going to stop me?
You're a grown man. You got to stop yourself.
Yeah. Anyways,
You know,
I'm
I
gonna keep
let you go all the time. Hey, Marche, thanks for joining in. Christy said, I am. We had a cheer fundraiser at Brewster's. Christy, I'm sorry I didn't get back with you about the popcorn. I have not been feeling good. So, you should have bought something for me, and then I would have cashed apped you what you bought for me. Next time, do that. Buy something for me. Don't get too expensive like you women do. And then I'll break you about, I'll cash app you back. See what's in the back of the Vatican.
Yeah, I mean, he's right though. The Vatican has a whole library down there full of books. Uh,
A whole library.
so we don't know what they have down there. We don't know what they're hiding. It'd be nice to get down there. You know, the Vatican is its own country. It's sovereign. It doesn't answer to any other nation. It's actually its own nation and one of the wealthiest nations in the world.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
My mother visited the Vatican. It's a beautiful place.
She took some nice pictures.
I don't think she took any pictures. Vatican City, yes, Marche. Vatican City.
Vatican City, okay. Vatican City. Well, today, y'all, it's an open conversation. We were supposed to be talking about something else. We'll tell y'all because it's going to be ready next week. It's up to Troy if it's not. And it's part 2 of the Black Inventors.
Yes.
Part 1. Maybe, you know what? I think until the show comes, I'm going to go do that today for sure, tonight. I'm going to grab some clips from that show and post them on Facebook of some of the things we talked about.
Right.
So you guys can kind of get a feeling of what we talked about the last time, and then it'll be similar this time. Part 2 next week. Yeah. Troy?
I'll get it up. I promise. I actually have the graphic ready now. So I have the graphic ready. I want to ask everybody, this is Ryan Coogler, Sinners. Has anybody seen that movie yet?
I think a few people have. I know Marche said she saw it.
So I haven't seen it yet. I need to go see it so I can support. But from what I hear, this is a fantastic movie. Well done. Well done movie. Has a lot of undertones about the African American struggle.
I heard that
as a horror movie. Now, I just want to point this out, man. These black directors that we have out here, they didn't get the chance in Hollywood. It's hard to get a chance as black directors. We had Singleton, right? We have Spike Lee.
Right.
He did Malcolm X. We had Singleton, Boys in the Hood. Several other movies. Who's the guy that does the horror movies? Nope. He did the movie Nope, and what was it when they were stirring Get Out, right? They finally get a chance. And when they get a chance, these directors, these movies do so well, very well. Coolidge, he hasn't missed yet. I believe his first film was Fruitville Station. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. First one, him and Michael B. Jordan did together. So I'm excited to go see this. I'm encouraging everybody else to go see it. Just Jordan Peele. Thank you, Marche. Yes, Jordan Peele.
Marche says she saw the movie.
Good. Everybody else.
I've been hearing that. I've been hearing some people say it ain't good, but I don't really listen to people. But I did hear more people say what it's about the African American struggle. So I think I'm gonna have to take myself to the movies. Marche, you already seen it, so
yeah, no spoilers here because we didn't see it.
He said he wants his next project
the X-Files.
A remake of the X-Files.
I used to love X-Files. It used to come on Fox right after, I think, in Living Color.
That music.
Used to love X-Files.
Yeah. The X-Files was it. Okay, y'all.
Sunday
so today,
nights.
Go ahead. So today we're gonna do what we always do. We got some some things to show. We don't even have no music playing. Hold on, let me turn something down and play a little bit of music in the background. Let's go. We'll play this on a real low note. Okay, so first of all, we got to talk about the merchandise and where do you go to get all the good stuff. And we're going to put up our webpage, which is www.idiotboxtv.org. That's where you get the merchandise. And what else do they get over there, Troy? Show them what's up.
Sure. Let me share the screen real quick. There's the book club. We got to pick a new book. Did we pick a new book for the book club? I thought we did, but maybe we didn't. But that's coming up soon. But if you haven't got this book, make sure you go out and get this book. This is the last book club. Great book.
We did.
But yeah, I forgot what it was. You got it written down. I know you got it written down on your board.
I got it.
So this is the website. On the website, has this, on the front page, you can look at the video as we stream live, past videos. We also have Alliance Entrepreneurs. For all you know, I read the mission statement every week. At Alliance Entrepreneurs, our mission is to empower and uplift entrepreneurs by focusing on a collaborative community that provides essential marketing support, networking opportunities, and a platform to showcase their services. We are dedicated to helping every entrepreneur unlock their full potential, grow their business, and thrive in an ever-evolving marketplace. So make sure you guys go on there, sign up for a free audit and free marketing materials. Yes, free. So go ahead and check that out. Also, the shop. We give away T-shirts. Y'all bother us when we talk about giving away free stuff to help you with your business. You're like, I don't know. Y'all need to get some business.
The merchandise, go to idiotboxtv.org and click shop.
And here's our.
We got to come up with some more stuff too, though.
Yep, we're gonna come up with it. Here's the hat that drummer wants to get. The me versus me.
Not the hat, the hoodie too. But I want that like the one you got. Does the hoodie come like that too?
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's what I want. Let me see. Show me.
The hoodie.
But when I go in there to do it myself, it's there.
There it is. You just
No,
pick
I'm
it
talking
up.
about that like the hat that you pulled up. The first hat you pulled up. Remember the first hat you pulled up? Yes. Is a hoodie just like that.
We do not have a hoodie like that yet.
I can go black. Black will match that.
Yeah, black and makes
Okay.
sense. So we have to do that.
Anyway, you guys, yeah. There you go.
The only reason we haven't done the hoodies yet that's like that because it's a print all over. So we have to create the camouflage and it's a print over. And those get kind of expensive. And the way things are right now, we don't want to raise the prices on what we have already. We don't want you guys affected like Trump is affecting you with the tariffs. We're going to keep our prices right where they're at.
You and the tariffs.
Y'all think I'm joking? He announced today. Now I know some of y'all don't really care about this, but he had a big trade deal, right? Big trade deal with the UK, right? So the UK is only like 3% of our trade, right? 3% of our trade or exports and stuff like that goes import and export is from the UK. But he had a big deal with the UK, which is like our 11th trade partner. I think it's 11th. And you have all these other countries in front of it that we still got tariffs on: Japan, Mexico, China. So it's not a big deal. What he was saying is it's not a big deal. They don't import stuff from us. He said they're going to start importing beef, which I think is a lie. The reason they don't take our beef is because here in the United States, we pump them full of steroids, and they don't do that over there. So they don't take our beef or take our meat based on what we do over here. That's why everybody's 527,000 pounds is because they inject our chickens with steroids. They inject,
swell them up.
Yep, swell them up, make them big. Our beef, everything else, we got steroids. But over there, they don't. That's not kosher for them. But anyways, he's an idiot. I don't care who's watching. He's an idiot.
He is.
I'm I'm gonna have
We all
ICE
need to think
knocking
about
on my
leaving.
door tomorrow.
Maybe we all need to think about leaving. Well, I see so many people going to Taiwan, Japan, China, the Dominican Republic, buying property, going over there saying it's better, the crime is lower, people are treat you better,
Costa
food,
Rica,
food
Jamaica.
is better.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? The people are nicer. The police are walking around with sticks and not
Pew pews. Let
right,
me ask
not
you this,
people.
Drummer.
What?
As African Americans living in this country, how much more do we just say? Do we just stick it out because we've been here so long, or do we just say, "Man, y'all burn this crap down, we're out"?
I mean, a lot of us don't know that we can go other places and live just as good and don't get looked at for who we are. I've been seeing this every day in this new TikTok world. People are showing you that they go over to Taiwan and do other stuff. And, you know, there's some people who their whole page is about that. And they live there and they move from here or wherever they live in the United States, went over there. And it's just they show you their money and how further their money goes, where they live, the view, and how much it costs. And now
Yeah.
there's people just walking around everywhere and it's cool. Nobody's tripping.
Yeah, and we've gone through a lot. Our ancestors, our people, have gone through a lot. Still going through a lot. Even in Grand Rapids, Michigan today, if you guys remember, there was a young guy from Africa who was shot by and killed by a cop. I forgot his name. Oh, jeez. But that
Who?
cop is on trial. The cop is on trial. Remember the
In Grand
cop?
Rapids happened?
Yeah, yeah. It happened in Grand
He
Rapids.
went to trial that in front of that house.
Yeah, in front of the house. They had the video and everything, and
Mhm.
it was a mistrial. The jury couldn't come to a decision. And I'm telling everybody in Grand Rapids, what did you expect was going to happen? You really thought that they were going to convict
There
a
was they wasn't going to do it.
no, no,
That's it's not going to happen
no.
there.
Even with a jury of his peers, you're not going to get a jury of your peers. There was only one black person on the jury. The rest were Hispanic and white. They tend to look at things the same way. So no, that kid wasn't going to get any justice. So it's a mistrial. So I guess they could do it again. But
That
as of
means
right
he's
now,
out. He's out,
he's out.
ain't he?
Mhm.
Man, that's crazy. Okay, so I got a few things to talk about since we hooked this up at the end. I think I got a few nice things that we can talk about real quick that'll be significant for everyone. We ran into this a little earlier. Underwater volcano ready to erupt off the west coast. Things are heating up hundreds of miles off the coast of Oregon, where a large undersea volcano is showing signs of impending eruption, scientists say. The volcano, known as Axial Seamount, is located nearly 1 mile underwater on geological hotspot, where searing gushes of molten rock rise from Earth's mantle and into the crust. Hotspot volcanoes are common on the sea floor, but the Axial Seamount also happens to be located on the Juan de Fuco Ridge, an area where two massive tectonic plates are constantly spreading apart, causing a steady buildup of pressure beneath the planet's surface. Now, did you know that volcanoes are underwater like that? I didn't know.
Yeah, yeah. That's how we got.
But I didn't know we still had them today. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, of course, in school they talked about that, but now I'm older. I'm in my 50s. That's something else. Oh, I didn't put up the link either in case somebody wants to come on.
Oh yeah, the green room. Yeah, if we got some kind of people out there that study volcanic eruptions. What happens if that thing blows up? Does
Where I said it was in Oregon.
does it affect the?
Yeah.
It could be a tsunami. It could if it's only what'd you say, a couple miles off the coast?
1 mile.
I was 1 mile off the
Located 1
coast.
mile underwater on a geological hotspot.
Yeah, if that thing blows, it could be a huge tsunami that engulfs part of the west coast.
Well, it
depending on
says
how big that is.
hundreds of miles off the coast of Oregon.
Oh, hundreds of miles.
Yeah, so that could be in the middle of nowhere. But it still could shake something up if it erupt, right?
Yeah, if it's a big enough eruption, it still could cause tsunamis. That's what happens over there in Japan and Taiwan a lot of the time. If there's a earthquake or something like that off the coast, they have them
Everything.
they have them tsunami warnings.
Well, there you have it with that. I didn't know that they still existed like that.
Well, you lived in California all that time. Did you ever go through an earthquake?
A bunch of times.
Dang. What's
Stood
that
in
like?
doorways. Had to grab kids and stand in doorways and hold them. And it just rocking.
Right.
Not too many of them. There weren't really any real big ones. But we've been through some small earthquakes, 2.1, a little something like that. But it'll shake harder in other places. So it just depends on where you at. I think toward the mountains by the airport, it's even worse. I think. I'm not sure. But yeah, earthquakes ain't no joke. But I'd rather be in an earthquake than a tornado.
Yeah.
A tornado come through and rip everything that's in the vicinity and just get rid of it. With an earthquake, it depending on, in California, they have the concrete type buildings, so they're gonna crumble. But if you got wood structure like out here, how they do it, it might last a little long if it don't shake that much.
Right.
You can get out from under wood, but you can't get out from under concrete.
That's why I like it down here. All we got is worry about is alligators and hurricanes, and you got a whole week to prepare for a hurricane. I just pack up and leave.
Okay, so wait a minute. When the last time you seen an alligator?
2 days ago.
Okay, so where's the alligator at? Is the alligator alive or what?
He's out in the little water thing out in front.
In front of your house?
Yeah, he's not a big one. He's only about that big. Not a big one.
But I mean, but you got to watch them though, right?
Yeah.
Now, what about any bigger than that?
Yeah, when we drive through the Everglades, you can see them on the side of the road. They're huge. Huge. About 6 foot. Yeah, about 6 foot, 7 foot.
You don't get no flat out there. You might as well just sit in your car and wait. You might as well sit in your car and wait.
You'll see them out on the golf course. They're big, man.
That's a damn shame. So they don't try to do nothing to get rid of them. It's just too many of them. They're there. Just leave them be.
They're like, if you lived in Michigan, they're like deer. They're just there. You know what I'm saying?
This was their space first. We're going to live here, but leave them here.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. That don't make no sense. Okay, let's see something else I put up to talk about. Here, let's talk about this. Hold on. Now, I think a lot of us knew that Trump didn't win fair and square, and it was some funny business with a bunch of stuff. A federal court ruled Thursday that Alabama engaged in intentional discrimination when it refused to draw a congressional plan with a second black majority district after courts, including the Supreme Court, repeatedly rejected maps with just one such district. With the finding, the court said it would consider whether to put Alabama under a Voting Rights Act provision that would require it to get federal approval of its congressional plans going forward. It's too late now. The 3-judge panel made up of a former President Bill Clinton appointee and 2 appointees of President Donald Trump said that its conclusion that Alabama was acting with a discriminatory intent with unusual but not a particular close call.
Wow. That's crazy.
Man, come on. We know 15 million black people just didn't vote like that. Come on now. Really? What happened? Did they do what happened there? They took out some of the districts, so you had to go somewhere else to vote. And what do some people say? I ain't driving over there because the line gonna be long, and they just don't go vote at all. Around here, we have a bunch of different places, but it depends on where you at and who cares in your county. That's terrible. That was a red state, right?
Yep. Yep.
He made sure he won that state. He was scared. He was scared. He was scared. What in the world is going on? Did I have something else? Let me see.
Man, that's crazy. That's what racism is getting. It's getting. I think they're gearing up, like they said when he was in the first term, gearing up for this civil war. So they say. You know what's getting a lot of play is that young guy or that man that ran over that cop after his son was shot and killed. They took revenge by. Yeah, so you're seeing that, and you're seeing a lot of race baiting, even on Pierce Morgan the other night. Did you see this?
No, I didn't see it. Tell me about it.
I'm going to share it.
Share it, because I've been skipping over that whole story because I'm just trying to let it brew before I start reading to it, because there's so many different opinions. I don't even look at lives when people are talking about it right now because it's too hot right now.
Yeah, it is really hot.
Yes, I did see him walking through the court past each officer like this.
Look at this.
Okay. I started to watch this. Let me see this.
16 and BLM and all the riots. We just had to sit back and watch people burn down our cities and do nothing about it. So the way to fight back against essentially this anti-white hatred that's been systemically, ingrained in U.S. society is with white unity. We don't see white unity on our side.
Hang on. Okay, but hang on. Sorry, just to be clear, this has got nothing to do with anything you've just said. This is a disgusting racist woman who repeatedly spews the N-word, first at a young child, and then at the person taking the video of her, does it with complete impunity, does it numerous times. We are talking about a bona fide, unquestionable racist. And so I don't understand why what you've just said to me bears any relation to white unity or anything that you've just said. She's just a racist. Isn't she? You wouldn't dispute that.
It's not about her. It's not about her. It's about
white people
coming together and supporting another white person. And it doesn't matter.
Why would you want to support a white racist?
Because I want to support free speech, and you cannot have free speech in the country.
That's fine. You can support free speech, but you also have to be accountable for what you say. Would you use the N-word out of interest?
Yes.
You would?
Oh!
Okay. Clarify.
I do, quite frankly.
You use the N-word quite frequently. Well, why? Other than the fact you're a despicable racist. Are you?
Some would say I am. I guess according to the ADL, I'm a white supremacist. I'm a neo-Nazi.
If you use the N-word repeatedly, you are a racist, then, are you?
Sure, I'll embrace that. If that means forwarding, helping white people achieve freedom of speech, real freedom of speech, which, by the way, Shiloh Hendricks is being attacked on all fronts. They're trying to bring legal charges against her. They're trying to get her children taken away. So you were saying Carmelo Anthony, it doesn't matter. That's a different
Sorry, but just to be
thing.
clear, you just said to me you use the N-word regularly. In what context? Do you use it with black people?
Yes, no. if it's appropriate.
When would it be appropriate to use the N-word? When would it be appropriate?
Anytime I feel like it.
Anytime she feels like it.
Dang.
Now this is Pierce Morgan. There's millions of people watching it, and this woman has a platform to say these things. Let's just finish this out. Let's see where it goes. What do you think, Jordan?
Let's watch this.
So you're an unashamed racist.
Correct.
Well, do you understand that makes you a despicable human being?
Dang.
I guess so. I don't really care. I mean, why are we not talking about Shiloh Hendricks? Why are we talking about?
Well, actually, I think you've moved it on in this debate very quickly to your own racism, which explains why you've supported her in public and why you've got all these views. You see no problem with a woman shrieking the N-word repeatedly because you yourself are a despicable racist. And you've just proudly admitted that with a smug grin on your face, which is pretty horrifying, actually, for most people to have to watch.
Troy.
And shame on.
Yeah. She's
Look
like,
at the other one. She like, she's like, I'm so weirded out. Is she gonna talk?
I don't know. I haven't seen the whole thing, so
Man, let's play this. What we got? We got fingers out. Let's play this.
But the thing is, there's a majority of Americans who feel the way she feels. You know what I mean? And not a lot of them don't have a lot of courage to say it. Now, is she saying this so she can get some more clicks and some more views by these right fringe people? Maybe so, but these are her ideologies, and a lot of people still have it. Yeah.
On you. You're entitled to do it, and I'm entitled to call you despicable.
Well, shame on white people for allowing themselves to be systematically discriminated against in the United States. This is our.
Did you just say systematically discriminated against? You see how they're taking it in like reverse racism now? Now they're being.
Yes, that's the
country.
MAGA.
That's MAGA.
This is a country that should.
What do you mean your country?
Because I'm white and my.
Well, there are no black people in American history. Is that what you're saying? That they've all just landed in America, invading your white country? Is that your position?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, they were brought here technically.
My God, do you understand how dumb you sound?
This is stupid. This is stupid and racist. And at some point, we have to ask ourselves, do we want to reward this kind of disgusting behavior by platforming it?
I don't disagree, Mark. Listen, I didn't know she was going to say that. I don't disagree with you.
No. Yeah. I'm with you. I don't think you knew ahead of time. I'm saying at this moment, someone who's saying technically black people brought up. No, technically Africans were stolen, enslaved, and they built this country. And the idea that you can justify calling a baby the N-word by saying that white people are losing the country is absurd. It's morally bankrupt, and it's honestly besides the point. I mean, all these are just distractions from the fact that she wants to justify dehumanizing and even animalizing a small black child. It's disgusting.
Well, I never said that.
No, you may as well have done because you're just an unashamed.
That's the implication of
proud
your
racist. Let me bring in Myron Gaines because you've been smirking and laughing. What's funny about any of this?
Look at the other girl.
Well, I mean, I find it interesting that you guys want to virtue signal and wag the finger and say she's a racist and everything else like this.
No, she admitted she's a racist.
Well, let me
I'm not wagging a finger at anybody.
She's self-identified as a racist.
But Myron, with respect, Myron, I don't need to wag a finger when somebody says, "Yeah, I'm racist. I use the N-word against black people. I don't care." That's a racist. I'm not wagging any finger. I'm not accusing anybody. She is admitting it proudly.
Yes.
Even you can't defend that, surely.
Everybody is racist to some degree. The reality is it depends on, a lot of people want to be politically correct. A lot of people want to sit there and say, I'm not racist at all. We all have biases. We all have stereotypes. We all make jokes. We all are racist to some degree. Now, how racist you are is a whole other situation, but everyone is racist. That's number one. Next.
Now, there's a big difference between being a bigot and a racist, right? Mm-hmm. Some people are bigoted, and some people are racist. Being a racist is a whole system. Being able to, perpetrate and affect those that you don't like, right? Like the racist system that we're in. If you're a bigot, you just don't, you not that a bigot is a good thing, but
but you ain't trying to bring nobody down. You just a bigot. You just
Next thing I want to say, see, I think the Shiloh, Hendrickson, Metcalf situation is a microcosm of a much bigger problem. And that bigger problem is what I call systemic organization. And what I mean by this is for decades, we've had black people literally running around with black supremacy, committing crimes, not getting accountability for their actions, and then they blame the system for it. For example, George Floyd, criminal. Ferguson, criminals. Freddie Gay.
Some skin folk ain't your kinfolk.
Nope.
Hey, Greg. A lot of these people are criminals, and what ends up happening is they challenge the police officer, they get into a physical altercation, things go left, they die, something happens, use of force is utilized, and then they want to cry about the result, when in reality, it's not the police killing black people, it's black people killing black people. And if you want to talk about black on white violence, black people kill white people 2 times as much. And on top of that, most of the shootings in America, a lot of the times, are white cops killing other unarmed white men. So this whole systemic racism or police brutality, or, oh, it's all so messed up. The reality is this. Black people have been able to get away with a ridiculous amount of privilege in America for a very long time. They're able to be racist with impunity. They're able to call white people crackers without being challenged back. And quite frankly, white America's had enough of it, and the chickens have come to roost. Now, look, am I saying that's awesome? Am I saying that's great? No, but for literally the better part of almost 2 decades since the Obama era, we've had to have BLM and liberalism shoved down our throats, and quite frankly, we're all tired of it.
Right, but just to be clear, you would have no problem with one member of this panel openly saying she uses the N-word at black people with impunity and is proud of being a racist. You have no problem with that?
My worldview on the protection of the First Amendment and freedom of speech overrides my personal feelings. She has the right to say
That's fine. You can support the First Amendment, but you can also have a personal view about what she said.
My feelings are irrelevant. The Constitution is the Constitution. That's what matters.
Oh, that's fascinating. Hold on. So when it comes to chastising black Americans about their behavior, about calling white people crackers, as you say, about their moral claims, about the racist system, you can levy a judgment against black Americans for all the things they do. But when it comes to this woman saying the N-word, and this other woman endorsing it and saying that she herself uses the N-word, now all of a sudden we can only talk about the Constitution and the legal right. We can't offer any moral judgment against it. That's disingenuous. And black American up here, that's quite frustrating to hear.
If you want to be soft and get offended by that, that's your fucking problem, not mine.
Let me ask Ricky. Let me ask Ricky.
This isn't about being soft any more than when you were desperately saving these white people.
Hold on. This sensitive nature that you have is precisely why we have this problem.
It's not about being sensitive. It's about I didn't articulate. Hold on. Let me finish, Myron. Let me speak and then I'll let you respond. Myron, I didn't articulate any sensitivity here. What I said, in the same way that you levied a judgment against black people, I'm levying one against the claims you're making. I'm no more sensitive than you were when you made your claim. I'm simply saying I disagree with you. And to immediately jump to you're being sensitive is just a distraction. I'm making an argument here. Just respond to my argument.
Wow. That dude, I've seen that dude before. He is all tied in with the people. He is. And I've seen him say so many negative things about black people. I'm like, this guy, I don't watch him. I skip past him because he is, woo! We should have watched the rest of that. We got about 15 minutes to go.
Let's see what else it says.
Ain't nobody commenting or nothing. Is anybody watching?
Wow.
Hello? Anybody out there? Hello?
Ms. Jones says, wow.
I enjoyed that. Let's watch some more of that. That was something else.
That's a great conversation.
It sure is. Play some more of that. That lady said it straight out, and she didn't blink or nothing.
If you're struggling with sleepless nights and exhausting days, you might want to try being
had to literally tiptoe around saying certain things around certain people, while the other group of people has been able to have impunity and be able to be as racist as they want to be, as violent as they want to be, without any type of consequence. And if you call it out, you're labeled a racist. The reality is this. Black people don't want to live around black people. I don't want to live around a bunch of black people. I moved to neighborhoods where it's majority white because I know I'm safe. Now, this is uncomfortable reality that no one wants to say, so I'll say it for them. Black people commit a lot of crimes. A majority of the violent crime committed in the United States is committed by a small percentage of people, and they tend to be black men. Look, the reality is the reality. People don't want to say it, but the political correctness and being nice and not wanting to tell the truth is precisely this problem. And the reason why you're seeing all the support for Metcalf and Shiloh, etc., is because white people have not been able to step up and say what they want to say for a very long time because of what I said before, systemic, organized, where they don't take accountability for their decisions.
Let me bring in Ricky to respond. Ricky.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to say that I agree that virtue signaling went too far, that political correctness went too far, but we're going from virtue signaling being the norm and being praised to now vice signaling being the norm and being praised. It's not just a matter of does this woman have the right to use that word? I believe that she has the right. I disagree with it. But is she now being rewarded with $500,000? Why are we rewarding people for performing vice instead of virtue? This is not healthy. This is destructive to our society. This is destructive to our social fabric, to our culture, to our ability to live with other fellow Americans. It's gross to reward someone for bad behavior. It's one thing to tolerate it, to say that she has the right to do it, but she called an autistic 5-year-old the N-word. Like, I'm sorry, but I feel like we're kind of like missing the point in the actual context. You can say that it's part of this bigger meta story of Black and white America, but it actually is just like a short little clip, and you don't even know the context of it, and it's actually gross. And if we can't just say that it's gross and bad, then I don't really know where we are.
Well, I think it's interesting to me that Lily Gaddis, you retweeted Nick Fuentes, the white supremacist, by saying he said black people just raised $500,000 for a cold-blooded killer who stabbed a white teenager to death. So I don't want to hear one word about the Shiloh Hendricks fundraiser. Either everyone gets to be tribal or nobody does. Why would you retweet that?
Because I agree with it. Because we have to fight fire with fire. I mean, at some point, why are
nobody does?
Why are Jewish people allowed to be tribal? Why are Black people allowed to be tribal? But as soon as white people stand up for themselves, we're labeled a racist. And by the way, you call people racist when you want them to stop talking about things.
No, I called you a racist because you admitted you were racist. Hang on. I called, just to be clear, I called you a racist because you openly, proudly admitted you're a racist. So it wasn't a question of exposing you or pointing my finger or trying to get this out of you. You proudly sat there, bold as brass, and said, yeah, I use the N-word all the time against Black people. I'm a racist and I'm proud of it. That's what you did.
Racism is just having a preference. I prefer not to live around Black people. I prefer not to live in a country where white people in our country are disproportionately attacked by Black people. Where in my country, you can have an Austin Metcalf where he asks a guy to leave and he gets stabbed in the heart. I prefer that. That's a preference. Now, what a real racist is, in my opinion, is seeing someone as less human. I'm a Christian. I believe everyone's created in God's image. So I don't see anyone as less human. But that doesn't mean I'm not allowed to have a preference and say, I don't like what happens to be coming out of this community or that community. How is that a bad thing? How is that not just a preference?
Because you've literally made Black people sound lesser humans. You don't want to live around them. You want to use the N-word in relation to them, a word that you know causes that community unbelievable offense.
My fault? Is that my fault? If they have bad behavior, if they want to act in a certain way, if I have to cross the street and be afraid that maybe because of the crime statistics that are very real, by the way, is that my fault or is that their fault for having bad behavior?
That's mind-boggling to me for multiple reasons. I mean, we're talking about bad behavior. You know, we've never lynched you, we've never enslaved you, we've never done any of the deep-seated structural forms of injustice to white people that white people have done to Black people, and yet to claim some kind of moral superiority in the midst of, and again, in the context of a conversation where a white woman is calling a 5-year-old autistic child the N-word, and we're talking about Black people's bad behavior. This is absurd. And the idea of fighting fire with fire, again, is a dishonest argument. Just to take us back to the point here, the people who are supporting Carmelo Anthony's campaign believe that he was wrongfully charged and they're trying to get him legal defense. The people who are defending this woman are saying, yes, we know you called the 5-year-old autistic Black child the N-word, and we want more of it. We approve of it. We support it. These are not the same thing. And it's bonkers to me that we couldn't all stand and say, hey, it is wrong to call a 5-year-old autistic Black child the N-word. I mean, Myron, let me just ask you that question. I think this is a yes or no question. Correct me if I'm wrong. Do you think the woman was wrong to do what she did to that child in that park?
I don't approve of that. But what I will say is that it's very important to understand the entire context of what led us to this position. Because again, Metcalf and Hendricks is a microcosm of a much larger problem. Earlier, we were talking about tribalism when you were mentioning Nick Fuentes' tweet. Here's the thing. Black people can be as tribal as they want to be. You have people like Tariq Nasheed, Dr. Umar Johnson running around about Black power and marry Black women and keep it in the hood and all this other stuff. But if white people assemble and say, you know what, white power, we need to keep our nation white, they're immediately ostracized and labeled as supremacists, and they get banned off every single platform. I find that interesting. And matter of fact, you went ahead.
It's not the same thing.
No, actually, it is the same thing. Because here's the problem with Black people.
No, it's not.
Hold on, let me finish this. Black people practice the very racism they cry about.
Did you notice what he said? He doesn't. I guess he doesn't identify as Black because he says, "No, you guys."
Yeah, you guys. He doesn't.
Okay, so we got to figure out who this guy is and what he.
We got to find him. What's his name? I see him, but I don't like him.
You guys can gather.
Yeah, I don't know who he is. They're not bringing up the names at the bottom, but let's see.
What about in the comments? What about in the comments?
No, let's see. Gladys Pierce. I'll have to go back and look That's
because that dude.
Shiloh Hendrick. Okay, that's the lady they're talking about. Let's see. I like Mark. Okay, Myron Gaines is his name.
How you spell that?
MYRONGAINES.
Okay.
I like Mark Lamont Hill. I mean, he's probably one of the best. I would say outspoken black men that we have. You know, he was kicked off of CNN because he sided with Palestine, but I really like him.
Together and say Black Lives Matter, Black Power. But if white people get together and say white power, gather together, they're considered white supremacists and they get banned off every single platform. Why is that Jared Taylor and Nick Fuentes are banned off every platform for practicing white nationalism, but black people are allowed to stand every single platform getting interviews on a Breakfast Club? Explain that to me. There's a two-tier situation here where black people are able to benefit off of being racist while whites are not. And what we're dealing with right now in America is literally a backlash to this black supremacy has been able to run around unchecked for a long time, and no one has the balls to call it out. Here's the other thing I want to say. Everyone's flipping out over Shiloh Hendricks and saying the N-word.
Hey, can I respond to the point you just made, though?
No, hold on. Nobody flipped out like this when the United States was getting destroyed in 2020 because of black protests destroying every liberal city in America. So I don't want to hear it about,
black people weren't even doing that.
The N-word. Who cares? They destroyed billions of dollars of structure because someone got killed who was a criminal. That's the problem in America. You guys get a privilege that no one else gets to enjoy. You could be racist.
Okay.
And
all right, I have to hang on. I've got to hold it there. We've got another guest joining us. Mark, I'll come back to you to respond to that in a moment. But we've been joined now by Jacob Wells. He's the Christian founder of the Give, Send, Go donation site that both campaigns have been hosted on. Thank you very much indeed for joining me, Mr. Wells. First of all, your reaction to what seems to me to be a blatant hijacking of both suits them, but then removing it when it doesn't.
You know, I think it's definitely tough.
Well, we're running out of time. We might have to do a part 2 of this.
Oh, that's all right. That was just to see that little bit, to see how that lady just straight face said it, like, and he agreed with it.
Yeah.
He said, "You, black people," like he wasn't black.
Oh, well, I guess not.
Oh, I got. Wait, hold on. Myron Gaines. Myron Gaines is the host of the Fresh and Fit podcast and #1 best-selling author and real estate investor. Prior to entrepreneurship, Gaines was a special agent with the Homeland Security Investigation in Laredo, Texas, and Miami, Florida field offices. You know why he talked like that?
Why?
Bestseller real estate. He make money. He make a lot of money. He got to talk a certain way so he can keep making that money.
Yeah, it sounds like it. And again, I think there's a lot of that. That's why you hear this stuff out here. People are getting paid to say these outlandish things. And it's a lot of people, like you see, a lot of people. Now, don't get me wrong, a lot of people black people did support Trump and voted for Trump. But if you go on TikTok and you see these people with the black people with the Trump hat on and them talking about policies, you can tell they don't know about the policies. They're just doing this for views. They're doing what they're doing for views. And to keep people engaged so they get paid. And I think a lot of these influencers do the same thing. A lot of these influencers say off-the-handle things to appeal to a small group of people. So what they're doing is they're building a base, just like MAGA, and they're building a base and they're getting paid off of this base. Maybe we should do that, drummer. Maybe we should just go hardcore Nation of Islam.
Hey, they don't mess with nobody from the Nation of Islam. Farrakhan been chilling for a long time. They don't touch him. They don't even talk about him.
No. And what he talks about is, I mean, we've been talking about 10, 15 years ago, is actually happening. Exactly what he said was going to happen here in America. I think we should go total Black Panther and Nation of Islam and Hebrew Israelites.
Wait. D Knox said he's on TikTok.
Okay.
Myron Gaines. That's where I seen him before. And I was like, oh no, I can't listen to him. You need to listen to Huh?
You need to listen to people like that. You do need to listen to people like that so you can, that's one thing that happens when you get into these bubbles, right? And what happens is when you get in these bubbles, the algorithm only hear, if you stay on a video for a long time, you'll start to hear and see things that video is talking about. But if you start to stop and listen to like a Trump supporter, right? Then you'll see more Trump supporters. You got to listen to both sides.
I do listen to some of the Trump. I listen to a dude named Zeus. Zeus. He looked like one of the Wayans brothers on TikTok. Let me tell you something. Zeus is so calm while the MAGA come in and be trying to, and Zeus like, show it to me. Show me. Where's your source? And they can't never find the source, and he'd be like, you're out of here, buddy. And he's so calm. Yes. He looked like a Wayans brother. He never gets mad. He's so calm, cool, and collected. I sit there and watch Zeus, and he bring the MAGA people up and let them talk. And he's like, well, huh? Wait, what?
Yeah, and we got to be careful not to fall into some of this stuff because a lot of it is just entertainment, right? Mm-hmm. And what they're doing is they're playing on what's happening in the world and using it as entertainment. Like Piers Morgan and these guys were talking about two racially motivated things. One was the white lady calling the young black autistic kid the N-word, and the other was the young black kid that stabbed and killed the white kid at the track meet. So, it's. Again, the rhetoric is increasing just like his first term when it comes to black and white and the division. You can hear the rhetoric starting to ramp back up.
Because he's got them believing that they're the minority. We commit all the crimes. Is that true?
They are the minority.
I mean, they are, but they're trying to pull themselves up. That's why they're getting rid of everybody. It don't matter what you look like. If you ain't looking white, you might be out of here. Oops! Look, oops! Sorry, we thought you was Latino, whatever.
Yeah, like I said earlier, ICE is gonna be knocking on my door next week.
Like, what's your name? Johnny Rodriguez? We knew that was you. You're like, no, wait. No, we don't need your ID. We know who you are. Look, ICE come and snatch people up and don't even ask for from no credentials.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. I was born on Camp Pendleton, a military base. My birth certificate is as American as it can get.
I was born in Grand Rapids, Michigan, Blodgett Hospital.
Oceanside, California.
You was born in Oceanside?
Yep, Camp Pendleton, Oceanside, California.
My daughter was born. My oldest daughter, she was born in Oceanside.
Yeah, that was an interesting show. And people be careful with this rhetoric, right? With this rhetoric, things are getting a little out of control, and the chaos is coming from the top down. So just be careful.
What did it do from Canada say? Canada's not for sale, never was, and never will be.
No.
So trying to be nice about it while he's talking about nothing.
And we're only 3 days into this stuff.
Most of the stuff ain't sticking though. It's just all a bunch of talk. China ain't budging. China done told the secret. All that stuff y'all buying ain't real. Did he back down quick?
No, he ain't back down. They ain't back down on China at all.
But
so
China that's the thing. Gucci and everybody gonna be calling them.
Yeah, but the thing is, a lot of the things that we buy as consumers, we get from China, right? Yep. A lot of stuff we buy is because it's affordable, for one. So yeah, there was a guy I was watching the other day, George Carvel. They call him the Raging Cajun. Probably seen him before. He's an old guy. He used to be a advisor for Clinton, and he was on a panel and he said, "Look, people were mad because of the cheap stuff." He said, "Look, he's an old dude from Louisiana." He said, "Look here, what I got on? I got a T-shirt, pair of slacks, some socks, and some shoes. All of it's made in China." That's what he said. He said, "I'm gonna buy from the Chinese." And the guy, and he goes, "I don't want to live in a country that makes T-shirts." He's talking about America. We make ships, we make planes, we make movies, we do this, and this. I don't want to be in a production country where we make T-shirts. And he's got a valid point. These production jobs that they're trying to come back here, they're not coming back. If you guys have a chance, go ahead and look at Tesla's assembly line. Look at their assembly line. It's all robots. So back in the day when we had GM and we had the production line, you probably had 500 people on one line building one particular car. Them 500 people are down to 50 people because the robots and machines are welding and doing everything for them. So that industry is gone. We do things like Facebook, Twitter, Amazon, entertainment. We do services here in the United States now. We do services and we do it really well. That's why we lead the nation. That's what we need to invest in. We need to invest in, AI. These things that we're good at. We're not good at production anymore. We're not good at production. When's the last time you seen somebody say, "Hey, I can't wait to buy a Ford"? Come on, everybody's riding around in Nissans and
they in some Broncos still. There's some Broncos riding around here. Don't they got a new Bronco?
Yeah. What do you do? Hyundai? How many Hyundais you see on the road?
You see none but Kias, Hyundais, Hondas, Toyotas.
It's a better car.
It is.
It's a better car.
American cars fall apart and they don't give you no hardly no warranty on them.
No, look at the recalls they just had for Cadillac. Look at the recalls they just had for Chevrolet. Look at the recalls they have for all of these, even Tesla.
Tesla, lots of them.
So we had our run. We used to make great muscle cars. We used to make great things. We don't make great production anymore. They do it cheaper and faster in other places. That's what brings the cost down.
Trump's trying to get here. Who gonna work them jobs? The robots or people?
The people that are going to work those jobs, you're kicking them out of the country because there's no way that somebody like me, you, or our children are going to go to a factory and work for $15 an hour. When our grandfathers and our fathers who worked at GM, they were making back in the 80s, they're making good money. The 60s, 70s, and 80s, they're making $30, $35, $40 an hour back then with overtime. Now they were making good money. Now you're not going to make that. So you're not bringing those production jobs back. So if you guys are listening to them about bringing the production back to the United States and you really believe it, you're a bunch of fucking dumbasses. You are. You don't think logically. Now it's good for us to do certain things here. I mean, even the parts for Ford are made somewhere else. And this happened during the Clinton era. And all these corporations shipped everything across seas because they could get it done cheaper. And the profit margins went up. The CEOs started making billions of dollars a year. So it's not going anywhere. It's staying right where it's not. It's not coming back. And you'd be really stupid to think that it is or it should. We should do what we do well.
They're trying to convince people, though. Like, trying to be the bully of the school, the high school.
And don't you think it's kind of funny, though? Like, when he was running in 2016? When he was running in 2016 and Joe wanted to give everybody a deal on EV cars and electric cars, and he said electric cars are garbage and trash, and MAGA was like, no, I'm driving a Ford pickup truck. I don't want no EVs. Now, everything's flip-flop. Yeah, EV cars are great. Everybody should get an electric car. I'm going to get an electric car. Matter of fact, put all the electric cars.
What kind you got here, Elon? Come on the White House yard. He ain't supposed to do none of that. That's totally against everything in the Constitution.
Yeah, he doesn't care. But again, you see how everybody flip-flops based on now EVs and electric cars. Yeah, I think it's a great idea. I think there's a great idea. We don't need to be paying for all this gas. We don't need to be digging. They got cars in China that get more mileage. The cars in China are ridiculous, man. The EV cars, if they came into this market, they would crush Elon. Those Chinese cars would crush. What do you call that? Tesla.
Tesla.
Have you seen them on TikTok?
What do they call?
I forgot what they're called, but they are amazing. They are amazing, and they're like $30,000. And they look like luxury brand cars.
So we over here being fooled, and they got everything hidden from us. That's why they don't want TikTok out there, because what you just said is what people gonna see. That's why I'm seeing so many people saying, we out of the US. We live in Thailand now. Look, y'all. We chill. Look, we got this apartment right here, and all our bills in 1 month only cost $500.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I was like, what?
Man, that was a pretty good show, even though we didn't have anything set up for it.
That was a true freestyle. Okay, you guys. So we're gonna go ahead and call it a night on episode 186. Another open conversation. Man, it's 9:01. Thanks for joining in, everybody. We so much appreciate it. And next week, Black Inventors Part 2. Peace and hair grease.
Peace.
We're in a lot of trouble because less than 3% of you people read books. Listen to me. Television is not the truth. Television is a goddamn amusement park. Television is a circus, a carnival, a traveling troupe of acrobats, storytellers, dancers, singers, jugglers, sideshow freaks, lion tamers, and football players. We'll tell you anything you want to hear. We lie like hell. We'll tell you any shit you want to hear. We deal in illusions, man. None of it is true. You're beginning to believe the illusions. This is mass madness, you maniacs. In God's name, you people are the real thing.